Hey y'all, my name is Katousha. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So I just wanted to ask you guys a question. Has it ever occurred to you that a victim or the families of victims of police brutality, whenever they want to receive civil compensation for the damages that were caused at the hands of police, either by the murder of somebody or even just police brutality and misconduct, every time somebody ends up suing because of this, they sue the city and they receive settlements from the city. And I just wondered if anyone ever noticed that when Philando Castile, for example, was murdered at the hands of police, his family and his girlfriend received settlements from the city of St. Anthony. When Michael Brown was murdered, his family received a settlement from Ferguson. Tamir Rice's family received a settlement from the city of Cleveland. And I in no way judge these families, by the way. I think that everyone who has had to take on these unexpected costs, anybody who has lost a resource in the form of a human being, they should definitely be compensated and they should definitely have some type of restitution, some type of reparations given back to them, 100%. But I just wonder, why is it that the city covers the cost? Why not the officers? Because when the cities cover the cost, let's keep in mind that you and I cover the cost. Property taxes pay out these costs. Insurance policies that are funded by tax dollars and by citizens, these insurance policies cover the cost of police murders. So literally, when we are paying taxes, we are paying the city to cover the cost of their murdering us. That's something to think about. Why is it? Why is it that banks profit in cities like Chicago, where the city doesn't use an insurance policy? They use bonds that are issued by banks, and they have to pay interest and fees on these bonds, thereby making the debt even larger for us. Whenever these millions of dollars in settlement money has to go out to these families, again, God bless these families. I pray they are blessed beyond belief. They deserve it. They've been through hell. But why is it? Why is it that we are funding organizations, funding a city that will end up just putting that money right back in our pockets when they kill our brother, when they kill our sister, when they kill our parents, God forbid? Well, one reason that we end up literally paying for their sins is the fact that this legal doctrine called qualified immunity exists. Qualified immunity says this: unless someone's rights have been clearly established by a previous judicial decision, a law enforcement official cannot be held personally liable for the actions he or she takes in good faith while on the job. In good faith. This doctrine shields law enforcement officials from prosecution. It exists so that officers don't feel afraid to exert their full force, their full brutality while on the job, because God forbid they should use any type of restraint. And what it does is it creates a circumstance in which the only way a citizen can receive compensation once their own constitutional rights have been violated is by being paid out from a fund to which they themselves have already contributed. It's their own money going back into their pockets. It's a paradox that exists to protect the police, who for some crazy reason are always assumed to be acting in good faith. They are the only ones who are actually protected by the saying innocent until proven guilty, because they sure don't see anybody as innocent. They themselves will prove somebody guilty. They themselves will be judge, jury, and executioner. But somehow after the fact, we're supposed to foot the bill. Well, what can we do to end qualified immunity? What can we do to take steps to make sure that law enforcement officials actually have to be held accountable for their own transgressions? You can start by going to the Great Black Narrative on Instagram or Not Guilty Project on Instagram. Both of their bios have links. They have petitions that you can sign to hold police accountable and to end qualified immunity. I'll put that link in my description box if you're watching this on YouTube. After you've signed that petition, you can also just Google search or just go to change.org and search. There are actually several petitions that are going out about this, and it's important that we give these petitions the volume that they need so that we can get the attention in every single city. A lot of these petitions are targeting local officials in different cities, so the more people that we can reach, especially those who can make change, the better. You can also educate yourself on the way that your particular city pays for police brutality. How do they cover the cost of police misconduct? Ask to have your local government ensure that police officers are not above the rule of law. They should be treated like everyone else and have the exact same fear of the law that we all have. No one is above the law, and if we're gonna be a country of law and order, no one can be above the law. That's just my little thoughts, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.